client of mine is a UK-wide charity. They work across the four nations, Northern Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales. And this particular client has recently just developed a design team. So it's a new team within an organization, but the team is comprised of new people and old people in new roles. And there is a process that they're going through to try to understand how do we work, what's important to us, what do we focus our time and energy on. And in that process, I'm there to coach and to mentor. And I've been specifically working with a couple of pairs. One of the pairs is two of the leaders in the team, the heads of, really. And what we are trying to do is to create a framework, or really a tool, or something simple that the team can use to decide how to move forward, how to take on work, where to take money from, who to serve, really a guide to make decisions and to prioritize. And what I noticed in the couple of the sessions is that one of the clients in particular in this pair was starting to feel frustrated and feel like she didn't really know what she had to give, and felt a bit confused about what she was doing and why we were doing it. And I said, okay, let's just take some time one-to-one. I really want to understand what you need in this process and what's coming up for you. So let's just do a one-to-one session. We took 2 hours. We really only needed about an hour and a half. And I just asked some questions around, I just said, what is it that you want to get out of this? And she said, well, I think I need to understand what my role is as a leader in this new team, in this existing environment. And I also just need to understand how I can tell this story better, or get clarity about what it is that we're doing next and why we're doing it and what we know and what we don't know. And I said, okay. And what I asked then was, look, you've got some frameworks that we've worked on together, and those frameworks are asking really important questions, like, what are we really, really good at as an organization? What do we have time and energy for? What can we control? What impact will we have in this particular project or thing that we're deciding on? And there were other questions. And I said, what I'm curious, what's coming up for me is I want to know, what is your point of view on these questions actually? What question is the most important question? And why? And she said, well, yeah, actually, I don't know if we have consensus on that. And as you ask that, I'm now thinking that we have a go, no go list. And I said, great, that's great. And she said, we should be using that, and we should develop a greater consensus about what it is that what we're asking and why we're asking it, and what's the key question that we need to answer before deciding what piece of work we're going to do, or what money we're going to take, or how we're going to move forward. I said, brilliant. And I then said, what I'm hearing then is that we don't feel like we've got a point of view. It doesn't feel like we have a clear consensus or point of view on what it is that's really, really important to us. Who's the beneficiary we're serving actually exactly? What is it that we're really, really good at, and are we focusing our energy and attention on that? What do we know we can have impact on? Is that the key question? And she said, yeah. And she said, I said, great. What one of the things that's coming up for me, I said to her, was how are you going to be able to hold space and to bring together the team in a regular way, in a ritualized or rhythmic way, to learn and to be able to understand actually what it is that's important to us, and to continue to have that conversation. And she said, yeah, actually, I feel like I'm really good at that. She said, I feel like I'm naturally a facilitator, and I hold space, and yeah, and I haven't been able really to do that in this process that much, because we've brought you in, we've brought some other consultants in, and I said, yeah, that makes sense. Of course, you're feeling some tension and frustration, and being the facilitated, or being the coachee, and not necessarily being able to lead the process or hold the space or create like you want to create. And I said, yeah. And she said, yeah, and I want to be able to tell this story more effectively. And I said, yeah, I can tell you're a storyteller. She had previously, as in our discussion, she had talked about rituals and rhythms that she had for herself and different stories that she was creating for herself. And I said, yeah, you're a storyteller. And that's brilliant. I said, how do you want to take that into your leadership role? How can you support storytelling in an ongoing way around some of these questions, around the point of view, around the principles that can help you clarify for the team and move forward and continue to embed what's important and really visualize it and make it really, really tangible for the team? She said, yeah, I think we could do more storytelling. We could find ways. I want to find ways to create rituals around that and be able to support and facilitate reflection and learning around this kind of go no go list. And I said, that's great, and it's brilliant because we could tell stories about what we're doing and we can tell stories about what we're not doing as well, because it's a go list and there's a no in that go no list, and there's some boundaries that we need to develop. And she said, yeah, this feels great, and I feel like I've been able to vocalize the things that some challenges I've been feeling and some things that I need to going forward as a leader and to bring to the team, and also what we need to move us one step closer to building this framework and building some consensus around what we decide to do and not do. And I thought that's brilliant. And I thought, yeah, actually what we did there was we got one-to-one. I sensed some tension and frustration, suggested we do one-to-one, and realized there was a need there, some unmet needs. And we identified some of those needs. We identified some of the things that she felt like she could bring to this new team in a new setting. And we identified some of the confusion or some of the lack of clarity, and got some clarity around the next step by asking a couple questions or around point of view and around reflection, time and learning, and again being able to just see, oh yeah, of course you're feeling that way, and there's an opportunity to bring what you do really well and some of your needs to this new kind of ambiguous setting, which it is. You're in a new team in an environment that didn't exist before, and that's really hard. So yeah, I hope that micro moment was useful. I hope there's some insight there for you in your own teams, in your own setting, in your own work. And hopefully we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for listening and or watching. Yeah.